So March is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and a longtime clinical and forensic psychiatrist has written a new book. It's based on his experiences during his career. The book is called Accidental Journey, and we're happy to have with us Dr. Richard Lentz today, author of this book. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing your story here. First, why don't you share with us your story of you were a doctor at Park Nicollet Health Services for many years.
I was, and as part of that work, I took care of patients with traumatic brain injury. I had some background in neurology that goes back to medical school. I got a master's degree in neuropathology along the way. And when you have an interest in treating people with brain injury, get lots of referrals because not too many people are interested.
So let's talk about your jump to fiction writing. Tell us about the book and how it came about.
Well, I wanted in retirement to do something that had social value, and I wanted to challenge myself, and I hadn't written fiction since high school. So it was very humbling to put myself in a place where I was a newbie and not an experienced person. Fiction is a good way to make accessible an injury that even people with the injuries, families with injuries, the general public don't know much about. So fiction was a good way to proceed and a good way to tell a story.
Right, and the way that I understand it, the book is about a husband and a wife. And the husband has a traumatic brain injury, some sort of crash, and it's the journey that both of them take together to recover from this injury. And I suspect over your years, are these like composite characters? Is this all based on your years of experience?
Well, it's based on my years of experience, and I created characters that represent the kinds of problems that people would have. Nobody I took care of would say, this is my story. It's a composite that I created. But Jeff has the injury, and the injury sets in motion journeys for him, for his wife Kate, and for their kids, Kill and Ben, 11 and 8.
What are you hoping that someone who reads your book, what are you hoping they come away with?
I'm hoping they will come away with an understanding of what families and individuals with brain injury cope with, that they would understand in a very rich and human way the trauma and problems that people face, and how they persevere and deal with what happens.
I read one of your reviews that said this should be required reading for families who are going through a traumatic brain injury. Tell us about the event that you have tonight.
Tonight I'm at Magers Quinn doing a reading in conversation with two other people. One of them is another author. Well, they're both authors, and we're going to try to elucidate different aspects of the book and make it understandable and interesting to people.
Well, Dr. Lentz, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. Pleasure to be here, and I appreciate meeting you both.
Yeah, and if you want to meet Dr. Lentz, head on over to Magers Quinn. You could register on their website for tonight's event. It starts at 7 p.m.